Hello everybody, I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back today to do album sides. So basically album sides is a show that comes out every 2 weeks. It kind of alternates bi-weekly with another show that I do called Ranking the Albums, or Ranking the Songs off an Album. Not ranking the albums, ranking the songs off an album. So this week it's album sides week, and what it is I choose one side of an album that I think is pretty close to perfect. I don't believe in perfection, but pretty close to perfect. Like there's nothing really terrible about anything on the album. They're all really, really good, and I choose one side of the album or the other. And in this case, this album definitely needs to be mentioned. To be honest with you, I love this whole album, but the second side of this album is absolutely killer. So good. Maybe my best. I don't know if it's my favorite side of. Well, it's probably my favorite side of anything that Ronnie James Dio has done. I don't know if it's my favorite side of everything, like vocally, that this band has done. I'm not sure, or even the other stuff that he sang with. But for the purposes of this episode, the best side of an album that he sang on, I think, anywhere at any time, and then some of his best vocal performances here as well on the whole album, but specifically on that side. So for those of you who are not familiar with this album, actually, the artist that did the covers of both Kiss, Destroyer, and Love Gun also did this cover as well. You see a lot of similarities in here. But the side 2 of this album has two fairly lengthy songs. Maybe actually kind of one of the beginnings of that kind of progressive metal stuff, around the same time that Rush was doing 2112. Maybe even Judas Priest was doing a few things, but I don't know. I'm not sure if they had any lengthy stuff on their albums, but definitely these two tracks, Stargazer and The Light in the Black, both over 8 minutes. That's fairly lengthy for a metal song, especially in that time. I know Sabbath did War Pigs. There's some progressive sound to that as well, but that was a few years earlier than this. But this definitely has a metal sound to it, these two songs. Ronnie James Dio's vocals on the opening track, Stargazer, absolutely killer. So operatic, so majestic, so almost spiritual, just so almost Phantom of the Opera-ish kind of vocals here, and done in a metal form, which I don't believe had been done at this point by anybody. One of the great vocalists in rock history, for my money. And then you have the absolutely incredible drumming on this song by Cozy Powell, that opening kind of heavy drum part, and just catchy throughout the entire track. You've got Ritchie Blackmore's solos on this, so killer. Just adding that real metal flavor to the album. And the keyboards. Nobody can go wrong with the keyboards on this. Just real different than anything that metal had done up this point. Real kind of eerie, kind of almost symphonic in a lot of ways. Just absolutely killer. And the vocals, of course, the keyboards, of course, with Tony Carey, Tony Carey. It's just, to me, it's just so unfortunate that this particular lineup, only produced this one album. It's such a sad state, but they produced a masterpiece for sure. This is such a good album. That song, the story about the wizard killing himself because he believes his madness about flying and stuff like that, and absolutely killer. And then you have The Light in the Black, which is less known of a track than Stargazer, but no less grand in its majesticness. It just absolutely killer song. Not very much different than Stargazer, more vocally oriented, I think, than even Stargazer. But I don't know if it's as good a song vocally or guitar wise or keyboards or drum wise as Stargazer, but certainly a fantastic tune. You know, it's tough to be second to the best, you know, but still just a fantastic tune. I urge people to take this album out if they haven't heard it. Go on and listen to it, especially those back two tracks. You're going to be absolutely enthralled by what's going on here. And this is like back in the early 70s, like 76, so before a lot of this stuff became huge and big. Yeah, just a killer album. I love it. So that's my album side for this week. Rainbow Risings Side 2, Stargazer, A Light in the Black. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Album Sides. We will be back in 2 weeks with another album side. I haven't chosen anyone yet, but there's a lot to choose from, a lot. But I hope you, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll be back next week with ranking the songs off an album. I haven't decided on that yet either. I usually do this around midweek. So this is Tuesday. So usually around Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday I usually put what shows I'm going to do for the week, and then Thursday I usually decide on what I'm going to put on those shows for the week. That's normally what I do if I can. And then I start preparing the stuff for the weekend. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe. We will see you next week for ranking the songs off an album. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. Any comments, put them in the comment section, and we will see you then. Take care and have yourself a good day.